Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to yet another Team Martin Airlines flight. Here at the company, it's our priority to make sure that our customers have the best experience, the best quality of service possible, and we have made huge investments and leaps and bounds forward in the quality of our service today. We've got a brand new PC. We're running on pretty much full ultra graphics. I turned down a couple of things. I think shadows are on high instead of ultra, and there's a couple other things. But right now we're running at about 68 to 70 frames per second. So your boy's gonna upload this in 1440p, 60 FPS. It's gonna look like butter. I'm excited. And I figured since this is gonna be our most beautiful flight sim video yet, we could fly to the most beautiful place I've ever been on the entire planet. And that's Tahiti, Moorea, and Bora Bora. Oh, dude, I'm so excited. This is gonna look so good. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna release the parking brake. We're gonna give this thing a little bit of throttle, and we're gonna take off. So that's right. I have a completely brand new PC sitting on my desk right here next to me, just out of frame of you guys, and she's gorgeous. I've actually just posted a video on it yesterday, so if you guys haven't seen it, make sure you guys go check it out. I've done some testing here. It's done really well. You know, I think we could potentially do better. I'd like to be able to have Ultra on all settings and get well over 60 FPS. I think we might be able to do that when the 3090 releases later on this year. But let's not get into a bunch of graphics card and specs talk and stuff like that. We're going to put our flaps up. We're going to put our gear up. We are taking off here from Fa'a International Airport, which is the airport on Tahiti. And we're going to take a nice little lap around the island. We're going to see what she has to offer. And then we're going to go off over to Moorea, which is over here. And then way beyond Moorea, probably an hour and a half or so away, maybe a little bit longer in this plane, is Bora Bora. Man, this brings back so many memories, dude. I remember flying in here. I remember like legitimately having tears in my eyes leaving. This was the best trip that Chelsea and I have ever taken. It is, I mean, I haven't seen every part of the world, but it is by far the most gorgeous part of the world that I have ever been in, and that I probably ever will. You know, I mean, Tahiti and especially like Bora Bora, that's known as one of the most beautiful places. It's like the top honeymoon destination, that sort of thing. So I'm excited to see kind of how it's portrayed here in this game. Excited to take it in this gorgeous 1440p. And see what we could do. Now, one thing, I don't know if you guys remember, if you guys ever watched the vlogs and stuff, one thing I said is like the main part of Tahiti, like Papeete, that's the main big capital city and stuff like that. That's where you fly into. That's where a lot of the hotels and stuff are. It's really not that pretty. Like, I mean, it's pretty, don't get me wrong. Like, look at the mountain back there in the background and stuff. But look at all these, like, industrial warehouses and stuff. I'm pretty sure this is the Marriott where we stay. No, Intercontinental. I'm pretty sure. I'm not 100% sure, but I know it was really close to the airport. But there's just like, I mean, a lot of this is very industry heavy. Like they have these giant shipping ports and there's these big container ships and stuff like that. So like the part of Tahiti that you fly into is really not that nice. You need to get out into the boonies to really see it. So this is Tahiti Nui right here. This is like the big Tahitian island, and then there's like this little crossover here. And then there's the little one. And the further out you get, this is where it gets, you know, a little bit more traditional, I guess you could say. Like, it's a little more untouched. It's a little more how the island actually is. It's not a bunch of warehouses and industry and development and stuff like that. It's true Tahiti. And I didn't get the chance to go down here. When we went, we came back and we had a full day, or like a full afternoon and then a night before we flew out the next morning. And I wanted to rent a car and drive around, but it was just going to kind of be a lot. We plan on going back someday, so we'll spend a little bit more time on the actual Tahiti island. But, I mean, we can go venture through it today here in Flight Sim, which is pretty awesome. Dude, this is so smooth. I'm switching the camera angle so much just because I can. I figured this would be a good kind of tester, feel it out type episode just to see how we can do. Obviously, I'm going to have to tweak settings and fine tune and adjust things. But I want to try out New York City and Japan. Those are the two highest density, most intense places you can fly in this game because of all the individual buildings. So I think we might be able to take it on. We're sitting at about 65 frames right now. I don't think we'd get 65 in New York City, but we'd maybe be able to get 50s or something like that. It might still look pretty good. And like I said, at the end of the month when we get that 3090, it's going to look even better. Let's Let's go up into the mountains here. This is just incredible, dude. Look at these lush mountains just scraping the clouds. We've got gorgeous beaches and that turquoise water down there on the edge of the island. Oh, this is incredible. We need to try to go find the black sand beach. That was one of the things I really wanted to check out if we ended up renting that car. We need to go see the black sand beach, and we need to go see Chopu. I think another thing that I kind of tried to turn down a little bit just to get us that little extra FPS were the trees. Obviously, individually loading in each tree takes quite a bit of hardware. So, I mean, they look a little soft through here, you know, a little blotchy. But I feel like that's not the worst thing in the world, you know what I mean? As long as we have nice shadows on the mountains and nice detail in the water and in the buildings and stuff like that. If our trees aren't 100% perfect, it's understandable, but they're still on high. They just aren't on ultra. I watched a video on some of the things you can do to kind of beef it up and get an extra like 10 to 15 FPS, which is seeming to work out pretty well for us. This is just, dude, look at the contrast of the green with the blue. Are you kidding me? And here we have it. So this is the black sand beach. I mean, it's kind of a mix of murky, you know, browns and blacks and greens and stuff. Obviously, satellite imagery isn't going to be perfect, but you guys can see there are some beaches that have like the typical white sands, but that one back there was obviously very clearly dark, which is interesting and different. And I'll throw a couple of pictures on screen. It's just striking when you see it. We're going to keep on going. I think we might try to go over towards the little part of the island. Somewhere around here, I believe, is Chopu. I don't think we're really going to be able to see much, if you want me to be honest. The significance of Chopu is it's one of the, like, surfing destinations of the world. It's some of the heaviest, most insane waves. And I figured it'd be kind of interesting to check it out. It's like a smaller Tahitian village, very quaint, but it gets a lot of traffic from, like, you know, pro surfing and stuff like that. But I don't think we're actually going to be able to see any big breaking waves or anything. I don't think they've coded that in, so we might do a quick little flyby, but there's probably not a whole lot to see. Now, as we're on our way over there, I do have a couple of fun facts for you guys, of course. So this is the island of Tahiti. It's a part of the Tahitian Islands, and there are 118 islands that make up the Tahitian Islands. They span an area as large as Europe. Now, obviously, there's a lot of water in between them. It's not nearly that big. I think it's like 4,000 square miles or something like that in total land area. But like their size and their spacing from each other, it's this giant group of islands about the size of Europe. They get fewer tourists per year than Hawaii gets in a day. Think about that. That is insanity. They're actually fairly close to Hawaii. It's you know, south of Hawaii. It's about exactly in between the U.S. and Australia, and it's one of the most remote, beautiful places on Earth. Like, if you want to get away from it all, if you really want to unplug, you just want to get away and have a fantastic time, this is the place to go. The people are the nicest people I've ever met by far. The Tahitian people, the people that we met working at the hotels and stuff like that, just so kind. And tourism's like their main industry, so of course, you know, they're required to be kind. But even the locals, which, like, a lot of times locals don't really like tourists, here locals were so kind, so friendly. We were blown away at just like what a nice, calm, relaxing, just enjoyable people they were to be around. Look at this view, dude. Just these volcanic mountains peeking up over the clouds in the background. Nothing but gorgeous water. Perfect tropical climate and stuff like that. Oh, this is just, it's so beautiful. This is one of the most beautiful places on Earth. Now, there's a flower there called the tiare, which is like this white, beautiful tropical flower. It like grows locally in the region and stuff. I don't know if it's the official national flower or if it's just a flower that's commonly associated with Tahiti and with the Tahitian Islands, but it actually serves a purpose. So women will wear it in their ears, but depending on which ear you wear it in, it means something different. And I think Chelsea messed this up when we first went there. So if you put it in your left ear, that means you're taken. So like, I think technically it means you're married, but like, even if you're dating someone or whatever else, you'll put it in the left ear to be like, no, I'm not available, I'm not looking for anything. If you put it in your right ear, it means you're single and ready to mingle. It means you're like actively looking for people. So, I mean, something like that's pretty cool. If you're at the beach, like you're a local, you know, you grow up in Tahiti or something like that, you're at the beach, you see a cute girl, you see she's got the flower in her right ear, you're like, all right, I can go slide in there. She's single. So, you know, it's not really that easy nowadays. You gotta like, you know, try to find out her Instagram, try to creep, see when the last time she took a picture with a boy is, something like that. So yeah, I thought that was kind of cool, kind of a cool little pastime. Chelsea had it in the left ear when we first got there, so, or right ear, I'm sorry. She had it in the wrong one, but then somebody told her you've got to switch it over. So that was kind of cool. The other thing is, because these islands are so far out there, they're so far removed, they're so far from any other land source or anything like that, it's nearly impossible for animals to kind of migrate to it. So there are no insects, there are no poisonous snakes or anything like that there. Like, you literally have nothing to worry about. You can walk through the jungles and you're not going to get bit up by mosquitoes. You're not going to get stung by anything. You're not going to be bit by a snake. You can do whatever you want. The only thing you have to worry about is like probably, you know, sunburn and how many cocktails you had. So this right here in front of us is going to be the village of Matiti. And just beyond that, just around the corner, is going to be Chopu right here on this little peninsula-looking thing. So, I mean, this is cool. It's just cool to see kind of the less industrialized, less tourist-driven. Like, this is the real Tahiti out here. Obviously, you are still going to have hotels and stuff. Like, tourism's still a big part of it. But this is where you're going to see a lot of, like, countryside homes, a lot more simpler living and stuff like that, which is pretty cool. Ooh, look at that. We've got that river going up into the mountain. That's kind of cool. Yeah, man. I mean, this is really cool. This is gorgeous. I would love to retire out here one day or something like that. You know what I mean? Like I said, just get away from anyone and anything. You don't really have to worry about politics, BS. I mean, nobody's going to come and mess with Tahiti or Bora Bora or wherever you're at. Just let the rest of the world burn while you chill in paradise and, you know, drink a few cocktails, something like that would be pretty cool. So now what we're going to do is we are going to turn around and we are going to go back to the island of Moorea. It's a little heart-shaped island just off the coast of Tahiti. It's actually really, really close. This is the airport we took off from. It's about a 5-minute flight. It's one of the shortest commercial flights in the world. You can also take a ferry. Ferry's a lot cheaper. It takes like 45 minutes on a ferry, and it's like $15 versus the flight's like 150 or something like that. But Moorea is honestly really, really beautiful. Like, I loved Bora Bora, and I think in some ways Bora Bora was more pretty to look at. But I think Moorea might have been the island that we enjoyed more, because there was more to do, there was more land to work with. It was a really cool spot, and it's a lot cheaper than Bora Bora. So we're going to head out that way. Take a look at this beauty jutting up out of the gorgeous blue waters of Tahiti. That right there behind us is Tahiti. So again, it's really not far at all. Like I said, I don't even think it's a 5-minute flight. I think it's a 5-minute flight from gate to gate. I think it's probably like 1 minute and 30, 2 minutes in the air. It's about a 30-minute ferry ride. It's I think around 10 miles or 10 nautical miles maybe, something like that. So, you know, it's really easy to get to. Bora Bora is a few hours away, and a lot of the other, like Ragnaroa and all the other ones are really far out. But Moorea is like super close, super easy to get to, aka cheap to get to. A lot of the hotels and stuff on it, I mean, they're expensive, don't get me wrong, especially if you want to stay in an overwater bungalow, which, fun fact, they were invented here in Moorea. But it's a lot more economical. Like, if you were trying to go out here, you were trying to, you know, live it up a little bit, stay in an overwater bungalow, that sort of thing, I would venture to say, is if you don't have an unlimited budget, Moorea is probably the way to do it. Just because it's so gorgeous, it's so easy to get to, and there's a lot to do. So you guys will see, like, Moorea is an island. Bora Bora is, I forget what the technical term is. It's an island surrounded by islands around it, the motus around it, and the hotels are on the outer islands. You guys will see when we get there. Whereas here, the hotels are on the actual island itself. So you can rent a car or rent a little buggy like Chelsea and I did. It's about an hour around the entire island. You can go up to the lookout points. You can stop on the side of the road and get ice cream. You can do literally anything. Whereas something like Bora Bora, you're kind of locked in. You're at your hotel and you can't really leave your hotel unless you make a lot of plans and pay a lot of money. So we're coming up on the gorgeous island of Moorea here. Dude, look at that view. The jagged mountains in the background. I'm actually really interested to see if we're going to have any overwater bungalows in this game. Or is it, how is it going to work? It's all based off satellite imagery, and obviously you're going to be able to see the satellites, the bungalows from the satellites. But I don't know if the game is going to know to place the buildings in the water, or is it going to try to place them on land, or how is that going to work? Here's the Tomei Airport right here. Very large, as you guys can tell. Dude, this is just so gorgeous. Are you kidding me? Look at these mountains in the background. Look at all this water all around us. It's something special when you're looking at the island of Tahiti. You always hear about how nice Tahiti is. Nah, fam, we on Moorea, baby. I will say the water in this game just doesn't look crazy tropical in some places. I kind of felt that way about Nassau as well. I mean, this doesn't do it justice. It definitely looks a lot more beautiful. I guess kind of over here, it looks a little bit better. Maybe we're just kind of in a bad spot. I think Bora Bora was a major focus for it. I think they really kind of put a lot of development focus on it. So I'm hoping we're going to get the really bright, nice blues. This is looking a little bit better here. I mean, it wasn't all turquoise and perfect when we were there, but I feel like this is looking better. Back there was not very good, but this is looking better right here. It's looking like this guy off to our right here is probably supposed to be some sort of resort. Here we go. These like little lighter brown spots. Those are supposed to be the overwater bungalows. That's so funny. All right, we're gonna go ahead and take off. We're gonna keep on going on our little tour here. Gonna go check out the Hilton Moorea, which is where Chelsea and I stayed. Hopefully some of you guys watch the vlogs. If you haven't, go check out the vlog channel. I think they're some of the best videos I've ever made, and that's no joke. We're gonna go kind of see where we stayed. So Moorea and the two bays, the two fingers that it has. This one is called Cook's Bay, because this is where Captain Cook landed when he discovered it. And then this one's called Opanohu Bay. And the Hilton Moorea is right here on the middle finger. So we're gonna go check this out. View some of the sights as we go. Dude, this is just so amazing. Look at that mountain. That is incredible. They have so many nice beaches. Like, we rented a little stick shift, like mini Jeep dune buggy type thing. And you can just, like I said, it's about an hour around the entire island. You can just sit there and drive around, and you just see this gorgeous beach that nobody's on. So you pull over, you hop in for a swim, you hang out for a little bit, and then you go back in, you go check out something else. And they've got like a juice factory, and they've got a place that sells Tahitian wine. Tahiti is owned, it's like it's French Polynesia. So French wine, which is like really good, really nice wine, is super cheap there, which is awesome. And I don't know. I absolutely loved it. It was such a fun trip. Good amount of adventure, good amount of relaxation, good amount of luxury, and that sort of thing. So this up here on our left is the Hilton Moorea, which is one of my favorite places that I have ever stayed, and it does not do it justice at all. I'm gonna have to throw some drone shots up on the screen for you guys. Dude, this is, man. I mean, it's still beautiful seeing all the water and the land and everything like that. But in terms of the bungalows, I mean, you could kind of see, the what's it called? If we come back this way, you can see the pontoons, the walkways that go out into the water. You can see them going down the beach there. But they did not put any of the bungalows in. I'm really curious if they've done it in Bora Bora. I hope they have. But yeah, we stayed there, and then we also rented a spot over here in Opanohu Bay. It was on Airbnb. Super nice lady. She had it set up so that like the house was sectioned off, so she was staying at the property, but we were completely separate. We had like this honeymoon suite. We had access to the pool and stuff like that. And really sweet old lady. Cooked us dinner one night. We had to pay for it, but set us up with charcuterie boards by the water, and it was a truly incredible trip. I think our rental, I know it had a red roof. It might be one of these somewhere in there. I'm pretty sure it would have been in there, because it was about halfway around. Oh my goodness, dude. There's something about like beautiful green jagged mountains and blue skies and blue waters. It just drives me wild. We're gonna go up to the top of the mountain here. Gonna see what the views are like one final time around Moorea, and then it's gonna be time to go to Bora Bora. Now I don't know if I could perfectly pick it out. That's it right there. I'm pretty. Might not be it. NTTB. It might be further than that, but I think that might be it. Oh, we are about to hit something. Oh no, we got time. We're good. But yeah, that was Bora Bora. It's all the way up here. All the hotels are along the outskirts and stuff. It's pretty sick. Oh my goodness, dude. Please tell me we have enough speed. Gotta be able to make this climb. Looking over at Tahiti on the other side of the islands. Oh, this is just so incredible. I love it. Okay, we're losing airspeed. All right, we're gonna have to lose some airspeed and go back down the other side. Okay, so we've got a long way to get out there. I'm gonna see you guys when we start getting close. Hopefully, they have a little bit more beautiful water to look at, and maybe some overwater bungalows. I don't know. I remember seeing a trailer that looked pretty legit, so hopefully it looks like that. And that, my friends, right there in front of us is Bora Bora, one of the most beautiful places on planet Earth, one of the most opulent and luxurious places on planet Earth. One of the #1 honeymoon destinations. It's on everybody's bucket list. And definitely one of my favorite places that I have ever been, without a doubt. Can't wait to go back. I would highly recommend it to anyone ever even considering it. It is just so unique. It is so beautiful. Of course, there are tons of beautiful places on this big blue planet, but I feel like this one's really hard to beat. So I'm excited to check this out from the air here. So similar to Tahiti and a lot of the other islands, I think pretty much most of them, it's a volcanic island. The volcano erupted probably 4 million years ago, something like that, give or take a few years. So it's been around here for a while. It's kind of unique. So the main island is this right here, and that's about 6 miles long by about 2.5 miles wide on average. It kind of tapers off at the ends. But then you have all of these little motus that go around it. It's almost a full circle, as you guys can see from the air. And these things are what make it so unique and so special. That's what creates this gorgeous lagoon that's super calm, tons of sea life and stuff like that, because it's sheltered. It's like a haven, like, you know, kind of like a coral reef will block ocean currents. That's what these little motus do. And they create this just habitat for animals and for humans alike. Like that's why this water is so great to go snorkeling and diving and boating and parasailing and stuff like that, is because these islands are blocking the ocean and the currents, and they kind of create this little paradise. Dude, look at all the blue here. This is amazing. But yeah, you guys can see, like, it's perfectly calm down here. You have these nice white sand beaches and stuff, and then out here you've got a lot of wave action. And without this island, that'd be happening in here, and it wouldn't be nearly as pretty, and wouldn't be nearly as good for animal life and that kind of thing. So that's kind of what makes it so special. Most of the resorts are going to be along here instead of actually on the mainland. The mainland, I think there's like 8,000 people that call this place home. That's where they live. There's the main village of Vaitape, which we're going to end up flying over. But that's, you know, a lot more residential and industry, whereas the hotels and the places that you want to stay are actually out here. And we're coming up on the two most famous ones. So this right here is the St. Regis, and then this over here is the Four Seasons, which is where Chelsea and I stayed. Both beautiful, you know, both some of the nicest, most highly regarded hotels on planet Earth. I spent a lot of time and research trying to figure out which one I wanted to go to, because if you guys saw the vlogs, it was a surprise trip for Chelsea for our anniversary, so I wanted it to be perfect. I ended up picking the Four Seasons. I don't think we would have been mad at the St. Regis, which is what we're going over right now. This thing over here is what their overwater bungalows come off of. It's kind of like a triangle, and you guys can see yet again we've got some underwater bungalows. So those, I mean, that's that next gen tech, dude. All this global warming. This is just foreshadowing. You're gonna be paying to stay underneath the water rather than on top of it. But yeah, these are all the little villas and stuff that you can rent. Here's the main area. You've got all these little, you know, lagoons and little bodies of water you can paddleboard around in and stuff like that. Definitely very, very cool. All the little walkways connecting everything. We'll go over and check out the Four Seasons. But yeah, I did a lot of research. I think we would have liked the St. Regis. I think the St. Regis is, I mean, they're both incredibly high class, but I think the St. Regis, at least from my research, was just a little bit more, you know what I mean? Like, just the Four Seasons was a little more relaxed. Like, it's still super nice and by far the best service we've ever had, but it's a little bit more like fun. There's a few more activities, and I don't know. I feel like the St. Regis was like a little too, whereas the Four Seasons was just like the chill amount where it's super nice, ridiculously nice, the craziest nice we've ever had, but still a lot of fun and relatable and that sort of thing, which we should, I think we might have, yeah, we're passing over it right now. So I remember paddleboarding out to this island right here, which is really cool. They can set you up a romantic dinner and stuff out there. We didn't end up doing that. We considered it. Yeah, this is the Four Seasons. You can kind of see some of the walkways that should be going out there. I'm pretty sure that's the sushi restaurant. That thing looks underwater. You can kind of see some of the walkways that should be branching out, but it looks like they didn't really do it right. They did Bora Bora a little bit dirty, at least in terms of the hotels. The actual island itself looks insane, so there's nothing to worry about. We're gonna go check out the airport over here. It's over on the north side of the island. I say, you know what? Let's go ahead and put our flaps down and everything. We're gonna land this bird. So this is the Bora Bora airport. If you're coming to Bora Bora, this is where you're gonna come in at. I don't think there are any boating options to get into Bora Bora unless you're on a private yacht, or I think some cruise ships do come out here. But everyone flies from Tahiti. It's like an hour and a half or something like that. They serve alcoholic drinks on the plane. I think it's like some sort of a fruit punch juice type thing. I think there was rum in it. I don't fully remember, but it's a great time. It's like, all right, vacation starting. It's pretty awesome. The airport is tiny. The planes that come in are these little Air Tahiti prop planes that probably don't hold more than like 80 people or something like that. Probably even less than that, to be honest. So you come in and like the luggage delivery service is just a dude on a tractor. Like, he comes up to the plane, pulls everything off, and then brings it in. The airport does not have any security. You're not really going to get any contraband or weapons or anything like that out here. So if you pass security in Tahiti, they don't have to worry about you passing security here, because there's no way you could have gotten anything bad. So that was kind of interesting. We showed up at the airport and we were at our gate within like 5 minutes. It was super nice. So we're going to come in for a nice little landing here. You guys can see just a super short runway. They do not have big planes coming in here. It's right here on the beach. In real life, there are palm trees and stuff all over the place. We should be, I'm pretty sure we are just about everything on Ultra. We're Ultra. Objects, terrain level of detail. We could try bringing that up a bit. I don't know if that's going to add palm trees in. It was an incredibly beautiful airport, dude. Like, one of the like, stepping off the plane, you don't deplane via a bridge or anything like that. You just step out onto the tarmac. You see the mainland in the background and Mount Otamanu up there, looking all stoic and just, it was so cool. So there's a ferry that will take you from the airport to the main town of Vaitape, and that's like $25 or something like that. And then from there, I think you can get free ferries to be able to go to your hotel, or what most people do is that the hotels have like custom boats that they will have at the airport waiting for you. And I think it's like $100 a person or something like that. They'll take you directly to your hotel. It's way quicker. You save a lot of time. You don't have the hassle of going into town and then trying to find out how to get there on your own. But then you go in these like really cool boats. Like the Four Seasons was this super old school wooden boat that was awesome. And they take you directly to the hotel. They handle all your luggage, that sort of thing. So like, you give them your luggage at the airport, and then the next time you see your luggage is when it's dropped off at your room. It's just like, everything is just tip of the top, insane level of detail and their hospitality. Like, the first night we were there, we went to a restaurant. I think it was like the Asian restaurant. I don't remember which one it was. But we went to the restaurant, we ate. We, like, obviously at the end, you, like, sign your name and you sign your room number on the check or whatever. And we left the restaurant, and I mean, the pontoons are pretty long. Like, it's quite a hike. And for some people, they're going to want to ride Chelsea and I really kind of enjoy, walking and looking at the water and seeing all the little stingrays and stuff swimming by, and we like walking off a meal and getting a little exercise. So we were heading back to our room, and all of a sudden there were headlights behind us, and it was a golf cart, because they use golf carts to get up and down the pontoons. And the guy pulls up next to us. He's like, "Hello, Mr. and Mrs. Martin." We had never met this guy, but apparently our waiter had told him to come check on us or something like that. But he's like, "Hello, Mr. and Mrs. Martin. Would you like a ride back to your room number?" And then he gave us our room number. And we were just like, "Whoa, this is crazy. Like, you know who we are. We've never met you." So it was just really cool. That level of hospitality, that level of care for the guests is pretty much everywhere. And like I said earlier in the video, I mean, tourism is their main industry, so of course that's kind of expected, or like that's what they want to give off. That's why they can charge the crazy prices they do for rooms. But also just the people of Tahiti and of the Tahitian Islands are so nice. I think they would treat you the same if you were a friend of a friend, you know what I mean? Like I think they'd give you the shirt off their back. So it was just really cool. I think the people and the service is what made it so special. Obviously, looking at all these gorgeous waters and the mountains and all the fun things that you can do swimming with turtles and rays and everything else. Like, obviously that was great. Sitting in a giant bungalow listening to the waves lap up against the pylons was amazing. But I think it was the people that really made it extra special. So this is the town of Vaitape. If you can call it a town, it's a little bit more of a village. Honestly, it's kind of like the industry hub of the island. So, I mean, everything has to be flown or boated in here. Like, I remember some of the hamburgers were like $45 at the Four Seasons, which that's ridiculous, right? Like, that's so crazy to think about. There's no way. I'm just going to drink seawater for a week. I'm not paying $45 for a hamburger. The thing is that hamburger had to come from Tahiti, and it probably didn't even come from Tahiti. Like, there's not a lot of space for farms and cattle and stuff like that, so it was probably flown into Tahiti and then either flown or boated to you at your resort. And obviously they don't want to keep it for too long or keep it too frozen or anything like that, because it was all really good food. So like, this food had traveled just as far as you did to be able to get to you. And that's why that hamburger's $45, because homeboy had a ticket in first class out to Bora Bora. So I mean, it kind of makes a little bit more sense when you think about it that way. But yeah, the main city is nothing too special to write home about. There are some interesting little pearl shops and stuff like that. The Tahitian black pearls are kind of like the souvenir you get from here. We got some for our parents. I got a ring for Chelsea, a black pearl ring, not that kind of ring. But yeah, so I mean, it's kind of cool to go walk around maybe one day, but it's more kind of the hub for the industry and bringing in all the food and the stuff that the people and the resorts need. It's also the residential side. There aren't many hotels on the actual mainland that we're flying over here. It's mostly all residential and industrial. I think there are around 8,000 people that live on the island, but obviously most of them are going to be in the tourism sector. Maybe a little bit of education, a little bit of other stuff, but I would imagine most people either work at the hotels or work in some sort of a supply chain that takes care of the hotels. So the mainland is, I mean, it's not that crazy impressive. There is one really beautiful beach that we went to, but primarily you want to be out here on the Motus. That's where it gets really gorgeous looking back at the mainland. So we're going to fly over to the mountains here. We've got Mount Otemanu, which is the big one. It's got this big, beautiful, flat face on it. It's the tallest mountain. And then you've also got Pahia, which is like a double peaked mountain kind of next to it. Otemanu is the one that is like super impressive, and it's kind of like the major landmark that you can see from anywhere in Bora Bora. Got a couple of fun facts for you guys here. So it's actually not originally called Bora Bora. The official name of this island, the traditional name, is Pora Pora, because the letter B does not exist in the Tahitian alphabet. So, Pora Pora, honestly, even more appropriate than Bora Bora. I definitely felt a little more Pora Pora when we left here. But apparently English, like travelers or settlers or something like that, ended up coming through here, and they misheard the pronunciation of it, and it's been called Bora Bora ever since. So that is kind of sad to think about. They lost their tradition because of some idiot English-speaking people. Another interesting thing about the island is that it was actually a U.S. supply base in World War II. So they had like runways, they had some defenses here on the island to help protect it, but it was mainly like, you know, food and munitions and stuff like that that they were storing here, and they were using this as like kind of a mid-range thing, because Bora Bora is about halfway between the US and Australia, and it's kind of close to Japan and stuff like that, so it's just this like central location for us to be able to prep up and keep supplies. Around 6,000 people were stationed here. So, I mean, obviously nobody wants to serve in World War II, but think about it. If you were one of those 6,000 people that got stationed in Bora Bora, I can't think of a better place to do so. So anyway, yeah, there you guys have it. I mean, it is kind of disappointing that they don't have the actual overwater bungalows. I'm going to throw up some drone shots so you guys can see what it actually looked like. I mean, obviously satellite imagery can only go so far, and you know, I feel like Bora Bora is such a unique location. I'm surprised they didn't put a little bit more into it, like we kind of saw in that trailer. I think it might be coming at some point. I don't know if it's going to be like a paid DLC or something like that. But I mean, it was still incredibly beautiful. We still have some just absolutely amazing waters and views that we've seen here, and it's been kind of cool to kind of experience it with you guys again. Hopefully, like I said, hopefully a lot of you guys saw the vlog, so you might recognize some stuff and kind of, you know, relate to it. So thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed. I'm going to see you guys in our next one. We are going to take this beast of a PC, and I think we're going to try New York City. It's going to be interesting. Hopefully she can handle it. Hopefully it doesn't end in flames. But we're going to find out soon enough. So thank you guys so much for watching. I'm going to see you guys later. Peace out.